as most of you do know from the past and the present and people from the future. Well, it'll be your past, or it'll be your present, maybe. Who knows? Who knows when you'll be listening to this? It usually takes a few minutes before people show up, but we will have a little bit of a show here, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll answer questions today. Maybe I won't. But the question is that you should meditate on is, how do you know? How do you know anything? It's a very, very curious inquiry. A lot of people rely on things around them to give them information. So I always go, how the fuck do you know that? People always say they know shit. People love trivia. The word trivia comes from trivial pursuit, trivia. It's mindless, meaningless nonsense. Scholarly work and scholarship is a more difficult path, more rewarding, but most people don't realize there's a much greater degree of wisdom and insight that comes through what is called scholarship. People like trivia. People are so trivial. Everything anyone talks about is trivial. This is why most people can't, that have any degree of observation into reality. It's hard to talk to people because all they do is ingest other people's information that is trivial in the highest degree, trivial in whether or not it will have an impact on the quality of your life. And so I sit here, and whenever I do these little chitty chats with y'all, it's because I truly do care about your life. And mine too, because I do have this, it's been inked on my skin for quite a while. And Lakesh, I do believe that in some way I'm another you. You're me. In a as much as I do talk at length about like this is my experience, so fuck you, and that's your experience, so fuck me. What do I gotta say? There is that separation, but there is these timelines that I'm going to be where you are and you're going to be where I am. So the best thing to do would be to inform people properly. Information is very vital. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were playing pool, and we got talking about the way to shoot a ball. And I said, I would never teach somebody to use a knife if they didn't know where their toes were on the ground. How to properly do anything, you have to know exactly where your toes are. I don't care what it is. Name a sport. Most people think they could even write properly. Go watch the movie Hero. If you want to write properly, your feet better be on the ground properly, not wrapped around the thing and doing all this thing, because that's literally, it's psychologically, physically, and spiritually your grounding point to things. So if your feet aren't working properly and you're not grounded properly, how can you ever know how to even use your penmanship or even your mind? So a lot of people that are not grounded and they want to talk about spirituality, they're all like love and light and everything. There is no light if you don't have a ground. Plug your thing in the wall socket right there. Go get that little outlet there, and there's a ground there. It doesn't come from over there. It comes from over there and the ground. You don't get the light without ground. So this is why people, they get all fucking space cadet on it. Your body is the ground. The ground is beneath you. You need all of these things. So as I funnel this into the title of the show, how do you know anything? Everybody looks outside of themselves, and this isn't to go, all the answers are internal. That's not, we're not playing that silly game. We're giving a little more density to that idea, though, in the idea that yes, the answers to life are internal because we have to stop looking outside ourselves. Well, on television, they said this about this. I get in conversation with people, they always want to use the scientific. They hate science because science has brought us to this point, because they use it as a blanket statement, science. That science has given us all of these terrible things, and they give us these drugs. Science turns into medical establishment, which means then all these drugs that they produce and all of these scientific experiments, but then they'll use the same science that they hate to build up the concept of, say, oh, why a veganism diet is the great way to go. And I always have to go, but how do you know? How do you know? I know. I know, personally, from my being inside of this body, that I can survive on water for 43 days. I know that. There's no question in my mind, because I've done it. I know that I can survive on my urine and, in fact, upgrade my level of awareness and consciousness. I know I can do that, because I have, and I do. I know. So what does that have to do with the outside world? Not much of anything. I interact with the outside world. I don't let it instruct me, because I'm constructing it. These clothes that I wear aren't because I got them from out there. It's because in my mind, this is what I wanted, so this is what I shall have. So I produce all of this. I am the production agent. How do you know what's going on this side? Like, you don't know, you can't tell what's going on outside of these boundaries here. So for you, what is inside of your boundaries? What's inside of your mind? What's inside of your capacity to grow? Now, this is not to say that what's going on around you out here is not valuable, because it is. It's a reflective surface. And it's not to say that books and everything going on isn't instilling information into you, because it is. And so you should look outside of you. So that way we can use it as symbol references. We've become symbol illiterate, as Michael TsarXen says. We have a very symbol illiterate culture. Children can tell you what the McDonald's symbol means and what it is, but they can't look at a plant life or look at a snake or look at a certain animal and tell you anything about it. They're very cut off from that, the natural sign of nature of things. So finding out what your sign of nature is and then interacting with what you're seeing starts feeding you. So the things that you look at, the things that you hear, the things that you smell, the things that you taste and touch, and all of this, it becomes something that is a looping mechanism. This is why urine or orin, and we're not using the word therapy. This is I think gets people on the wrong idea that it's of that terminology. We'll call it something different. We'll find a good name for that soon, but it's just the use of one's own self to then cycle. So once you start cycling liquid, you can also cycle what you're seeing, cycle what you're smelling and what you're hearing. Because then all of a sudden, those acoustical properties that are going on inside of your mind and inside of all of your organs start resonating outside of you. And then you are the master orchestrator of all things. So I leave the question, and I'll dig through here. I don't know that I'll go on for much longer than this. But it's, how do you know? How do you know anything? When people, all of these books, how many billions of books have been printed? Billions. Maybe even trillions. Who knows? How many pages have been written? How many words have been spoke? How much shit is going on? And how much of it's really affecting you? Right now, when you're in your being right now, other than me talking, and then even me talking only is a reverberation and a re-energizing of your own consciousness. Oh, Zen's saying something that I think I need to remind myself of. And I make these videos for myself as well. Now I have a reflective surface here. I'm looking at myself. I could go in the bathroom and do this. But that gets a little silly, right? When you're just looking into the mirror, talking to yourself. So this I'm doing, but then I'm going, oh, but there's more of me out there. There's all of you, which are me. And then you're like, Am I looking at you guys are saying, am I looking at myself, looking at me, talking to you? See, we're looking through a different type of mirror at this point. There's the black mirror, the white mirror, and there's a clear mirror, and then there's also this mirror, which happens to be just a second behind, just a moment behind. So this is all off of the. Thank you, Torrens Garden, because he had said to me something about Mercury and the old alchemists and things. So, if any of you have not seen the last video I just put out, this is kind of a spin-off of that I wanted to do live, and to get a little more in depth on it. But I'll even dig in there for anyone that hasn't seen that. So this is for future people. We'll have to be talking to people in the future, 100 years from now, maybe 10 days from now, who knows. The concept is you don't know what's in these books. Our language has been changed. Our language changed from the original language. How do animals speak? We don't speak like that anymore. I'm trying to engage something from the depths and the farthest reaches of whatever my mind is, and try to use this clunky ass language to convey something to all of you in a way that why can't people in China understand what I'm saying? If they know English, maybe they can. If there's a translating unit, which is great, which is helpful on here, maybe they can. But for all intents and purposes, there are so many different languages that what are we speaking? We're not speaking the source code language anymore. Some of us do. Music is close. Music is pretty much almost it. But then people are listening to my words. It's not the letter value of every single syllable and syllabus and word that I'm constructing to create some sort of linear process from here to here to here. No, it's not that. It's where am I speaking from? Am I speaking from here? Am I speaking from here? Am I speaking from here? Am I speaking from what they say is you can speak from memory, or you can speak from wisdom. Memory is easy to speak from. That's simple. I can just go back and this is what they told you in Inception. You don't create out of memory. Memory doesn't give you creation. Memory was already it was plotted. It was already it's the whole thing. Like you don't take the thing that you looked at yesterday and recreate that. You build it anew. You twist it. You turn it. You morph it. What you'd call it now is anglicize or angel size. To anglicize, to put a spin on it, to move it slightly. If you play pool, you know. You play billiards, you move a ball around something to put English or spin on something. And a lot of people have used that for ill-gotten gains. And that won't happen anymore. Because people have used language to misinform people, to take them from true centered self of all that is. And so the media has continually used their forked tongue to tell you multiple things. You can see this on everything that's going on. Even there is some truth in the news, but again, it's always disguised. That it's not okay. Like we're tired of people that seem to be telling us the truth, that are doing nothing with it, that are only just putting more and more biosurvival tokens in their pockets. The spirit doesn't need biosurvival tokens. The physical body barely needs that. I mean, we don't need the tokens. We need the thing that the tokens will buy us most of the time. But where did the tokens come from? Where did the body come from? This is the when we move away from, okay, let's not point fingers and say they're to blame and they're the good guys, the bad guys, and we get back to what's source. What is the source? Seems to be the intense imagination that you start creating with. And how do you develop one? Because you had one, then it was removed from you. You had one, you were here, and you dropped down, and you got put up on a cross, and you got put in this body, and all of a sudden you get rebirthed, and your mind becomes the image of what you were as light. Light it moves. Light is even more rarefied, if I may use that word, than air. Light and air and water, light, air, water, and then this earth, and then the fire principle. But even at that, so we're talking about aether. What is within the aether? The aether is kind of a combination of, it seems to me, I can't tell you this for certain, it seems to be a combination of light and air. That's what it seems to be. So, what do you think I just drank? How do you know? How do you know? How do I know it was in this bottle? Do you know? You're looking at me through what is already, how many filters? There's your perception, then there's your eyeballs, right? And your eyeballs might have glasses in front of them, and then you have the screen, and then all of a sudden we're on this side, then I'm on this side of the screen, and then here's another filter, right in here, and here's one more filter. And then you have to guess whether or not what's in here is what. Then I have to ask, did this company actually give me what they say is in the bottle? And I have to look at it and say, well, the label says so. And so now all of a sudden we play these labels games. Are the labels correct? And so what we do is I think I wanted to title this. I wanted to title it something to do with this. And I couldn't get the words down right, so I left it as I said it. That people say, don't judge a book by its cover. And I say, don't judge a book, period. Because you don't even know what's being said in the book. How many times have you read a book and you have a whole different idea about it than somebody else? You have to go to a school. You have to literally sit down with a teacher that tells you how to symbolically break down a book. And even if after you do that, you can still never even know the author's intentions. You're 10 steps removed. You're 10 steps removed from anything that's going on. You have no idea about anything. So you know nothing. So there is no thing. So to know nothing is to know mind. Mind, knowing nothing, then allows you the space to then consolidate an idea and condense it and make the philosopher's stone and turn it into something like this. The crystal body or the crystal, whatever it is. I don't know, this is shit I got around me right now. This thing, I don't know. What's this thing? What's this? Just things. Look at all these objects that I somehow produced. Look at this. What is that? That's a cool object. Think about that. Who could have thought that somehow I got the stuff beneath my feet that's solid, and then I got something that's solid but also stretchy? That's a weird one, right? What is all this, right? So what we've done is we know nothing, so they come from the space of emptiness, which is samadhi, sitting on, just levitating in outer space in your body of nothingness, and going, okay, let me take form, and then you dropped out of the sky and condensed yourself, just as the aether would do when it starts collecting density until you become this form, and all of a sudden, we have the skin suit on. Skin, K-I-N-S, kin. So our kin always wear this skin suit. Most of our kin have forgotten. So they're sitting here thinking that they're this skin suit, calling it something different. So we collapsed ourselves into this, and now we have to jump back up, climb up the ladder, or jump back up, or whatever you have, you got to get up there. See, some people do psychedelics, some people do all sorts of things. And you get to this point, and you go, oh, but it's not even in there, really. Really, it's not even in there. That's just one of the points. Your belly button was one point, your nose is one point, this pineal, but even that's overrated. You have to realize, so how do you know? How do you know anything about the motherfucking pineal gland? You ever cracked your head open? You ever open up your head? You ever see the pineal and the pituitary? Do you even know it exists? Do you even know you have a brain in your fucking skull? Do you know you have a heart in your... You don't know. You've never opened that up. You've never drilled a hole in there. Shamans used to drill holes in their head right here to offer more air into their brain. To more aether, oxygen, whatever you want to call it. So how do you know? So we get to that place. It seems to be outside of the brain and into the mind, because the mind is outside of you. We walk around inside of our own mind. So once you get to that place, then what? How do you produce? Well, let's start collapsing what you'd call spatial dimensions, or collapsing time frames, or echoes, or ideas that you kind of, okay, this is the one that I want, and collapse it, and then all of a sudden, here it is. The Philosopher's Stone at the end of the tunnel. That's what I wanted. There it is. But we have to realize we're always doing this. We're always doing that. But sometimes we just go, okay, get rid of that vibration. And then all of a sudden, it vanishes. You ever in a dream? You ever in one of these out-of-body experiences? And you're focused on something. And if you're focused, you can make it turn into solid physical matter. But if you start to lose focus on what you want and go, oh no, that's not what I want. Actually, I wanted a burger. Or no, I want to go see something. And all of a sudden, everything starts to fade, and then you get lost in the shuffle, and that's what pulls you back into your body. But you're doing it here. This is just one of the more elaborate constructs of the vibration that you created up there to put yourself into this body, until you figured out while you were in this body that you were actually up there vibrating yourself into this thing. If you can vibrate into it, you can vibrate right the fuck out of it. If you want to. See, that's the clue. And a lot of people want to, like, oh, life is terrible, I want to get out of this. No. That's not the point of this. That's not how it works. If you really, really need to, if you really want to, like, okay, so be it. That's your choice. Move on. Find yourself a new vibration to exist in. But you're going to take another form. But you could also just restructure everything around you. People go from rags to riches. It's the same idea. You can go from rags to riches, or you can just jump timelines, or you can get out of this body and go into another one. It's just how you want to do it. But the source is always the same. It's the conscious endeavor to create some sort of environment and some sort of object. Well, let me see what y'all had to say. And for anybody that gets onto this in the future, hopefully it was enjoyable. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Shaman and Clown, good to see you, man. Yeah, that was a fun. The last 2 days I've been up at 4 a.m. I wake up and I'm wide awake. Just wake up and I'm like, oh, okay, and I have like crazy vivid dreams, and then I don't know that they've been out of body, because I know the difference, but they were just like on that kind of precipice of being a dream or out of body. I couldn't really tell, because as I've explained before, and for people that don't know, I explain how this all works. You have what is like a dream inside of your mind or of a subconscious realm, and then you have a superficial dream. It's kind of just above water, but still inside of your mind. Then you have lucidity, which is kind of just an exploration of everything going on in your head. Then you actually have an out-of-body experience. That means pulling yourself out of your body. And then you have astral travel, and you have astral projection. Astral travel means you get out of body and walk around. Astral projection means you project yourself somewhere else in a different place and time. So you basically have like 6 different things that are going on. You have 6 different possibilities within your subconscious, your conscious, your lucid, your out-of-body, your astral realm, and your astral travel. These are all different. And it's hard to describe. It's hard to make an immediate distinction, unless, of course, you can find some sort of object to know, oh, I'm in a different time. Then you go, okay, I'm projecting. Or I'm traveling, meaning like, oh, I know this place, and I know that I'm, in the same time as I am. So there's a few different things you can do here. But yeah, Shaman Clown, good to see you. So I just woke up, and it was right when somebody asked me a question, so I had to answer it. What up, Freak 145 154? Yeah, right on, man. RJ Beantown. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That's cool. Yeah, they're all over the place. Just know that's how it works. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We come from many angles here. What's up, Divine Light Hazel? What up, Dead Chrono? Hey, Dead Chrono, did you get my text? I had a dream about you. It was a piece of your mail. Did you get it? I told you. I'll do it live here. It don't matter. It was supposed to be delivered, I believe, to your house or to somebody else's. Either you were delivering it to someone or someone was delivering it to you, and it went to the wrong address, and it went to 1624 something. I couldn't read what was after that. Maybe you were sending me something. I don't know, because I know somebody was supposed to send me something, and maybe I get in the wrong address. Maybe it had something to do with me, but I specifically remember it was for you, and it was the wrong address, labeled envelope. So if you get a piece of mail, yeah, that's what's up. What up, John Hood? And Freak 145. Yeah, I keep doing that backwards. 154. The symbols. You are the symbol. You are. I'm gonna do just a video titled that. Thanks to shout out to my engine Abaddon, who's gonna be on a new journey soon. He's gonna be having a very fun journey. He's coming down to New Orleans. I'm very happy for him. You are the living sigil. This is why I've always watched all of my work. I mean, that's going to take fucking too much time, but condense it down to this idea. I say using sigils is great, doing all this penmanship and writing and doing all of that, but it may be the reason that some people talk with their hands and I do all of this, right? The magicians do that. Because you are the living orchestrator and sigil. You're a walking around sigil. And so you condense that into a two-dimensional surface. Core Love does a lot of work on this. He doesn't say it the way I do, but he explains it in a way of saying you're compressing three-dimensional reality, which we can feel and exist in, and we push it into two dimensions, and we collapse it onto a piece of flat paper. It's just, there it is, and then all of a sudden it expresses itself off page into all of the other dimensions to give us everything that's going on. So the sigil then works that way. But I say, because this is the way that I teach, for whatever reason of leveling of past lives and all this other shit, I tell you all how it's done, and there's plenty of good stuff on it. I suggest it for people that need to go through the process, start writing out sigils and go through all of the different type of make a clock if you need to. There's awesome videos. Whoever hasn't seen them, I'll guide you to them if you need to see them. But they're probably about a year ago or so, maybe even longer than that, about a year and a half now. Maybe December of last year. Check those out, and you'll find some that I've written out how to design clocks and sigils and things. And but I come from the stance is that when you get out of this body, when you're done with this, you have to learn how to recreate your body. You have to learn how to recreate everything. So it all comes from the same source, which is mind, which is Mayan, which means illusion, the Maya, the illusion of the mind. And the Maya, and you put a D on the end, a D takes half of the equation. So you take the Maya, the illusion, and the half of the equation, half of a circle. The whole circle would be a zero. So you get a mind. And that gives you the way to create object, which is this physical body. So you learn to create your body, and you don't get a backpack. You don't get this is the tarot, the fool with the backpack on. No, you got everything you need. It's already in there, but it's out there. It's everywhere. You don't get a pen. This is why they say, oh, we need a pen to write down everything that we believe in. No, you already living in the pen. You're in the pentagram. You don't go to prison. You're in the prison. The prison is the prism. The prism is the triangle. You're already inside of it. And the triangle turns into, you could play the game with what is it? What are you talking about? Is it a 6-pointed star because it's male and female, so it's a hexagram? Or is it a 5-pointed star because your body is... We're not going to go through all that right now. But the point is, you're inside of the thing. You're inside of the prism. It's not like, oh no, we're bound here. It's terrible. No, you wanted to do this because this is part of the exploration of consciousness. Consciousness everywhere is too much. There becomes everything. Everything becomes like anything is possible. That's great, and that's where we reside, and we created this out of it. But this condenses it to say, hey, now you have a physical experience of, let's condense this so we can make a. People would call it a diamond, which means to split the mind, but it's more of a crystal. It's kind of a crystal. I mean, crystals and diamonds are a little different, so we're not gonna get too literate with that right here. But this experience of this body is just to create some sort of memory system. Because if you're just water, then what's going on? It's just nothing. Then if you're just light, what's going on? So water and light got together to create what's inside of your physical body, which is then the covering or the skin, which is the cross that you're held inside of, to create a memory of this lifetime, which you chose to do. And then all of a sudden we go, oh wait, I can create as I wish. You create out of this. So I know I always make these things long-winded, but I always, whenever I speak, I don't speak to just all of you that you've been on here. I speak to so in one video, if someone never has seen my video before might catch it and go, oh, holy shit, this is it. It's not just for you guys, so. Oh, Maya and Jin, there you are. What up, man? I just seen you there. Yeah, Maya and Jin. So yeah, I'm so excited for you, man. That's I'm gonna get back to you. I just didn't get back to you this morning. I seen it. I seen you email me. That's good, man. That's exciting. You gotta remember, today is tomorrow is the end of Mercury retrograde. Plus, it's a no moon. There's a lot of things right now. So like you didn't lose shit. You got rid of things you didn't need. You know, all that extra baggage and weight and like physical whatever. Now you back to the genie, you know? That's the thing, B. They let the genie out the bottle. They let the genie out they broke the fucking thing. Now the genie out. Genie out. So there you go, Mayan. Yeah. What up, musicians? What up, John Hood? I'm scrolling through here, y'all. Oh yeah, Pink Floyd. I listened to them the other night. Pink Floyd and some Led Zeppelin, because I didn't grow up on that. That wasn't my thing. You know, but that's some good stuff. Yeah. Hey, John Hood, but here, you know what? I used to hate the English language too, to a degree. But then one of my more really, really intense teachers was like, no, it's the language of the angels. The English. As much as we want to despise all of what the white man has done and what the English have done and what all of this has done, we have to realize that like the angles are sharp. And if you want a knife to cut dead through something, you got to use really sharp angles. And so the language always became more. So if we had a circle and we had cut it into 4 angles, you took that angle 90 degrees, you couldn't cut a piece of, you couldn't cut anything. Now if we cut that up into 72 angles, all of a sudden we got a knife. Now all of a sudden we can cut things. We can slice things up. We can really, really we're cutting pubes here. So just remember that part. So, and this is the thing is, the knife only initially divided into duality. Only initially. But then after that, then it was tri or with trivia, and then it was quad, and then we go through the whole thing. Now all of a sudden we had 360 degrees. How's anybody, if you're sitting around in a campfire and there's 360 people there, that's too much math for you. You sit around a fire with 12 people, who's right and who's wrong? It can't be. It can't even work that way. It doesn't work that way. There's too many extra pieces of information that go into whatever anybody's talking about if you have 12 things around a campfire. Now put 360? Can't nobody be wrong, can't nobody be right. All you can have is like source knowledge and creation. That's all. The first splitting was the one that was right and wrong. That's all. You crack something open. Oh, was it? Should we eat? Is it the chicken, the egg? Are we allowed to eat that? We shouldn't eat the animal. Is that an animal? Wait, it's an egg. But it was. Is it even? Oh, you're eating this, and then all of a sudden that bullshit, right? So people that are on this like vegan or first meeting, they're still cutting with a single knife. Like, no, you don't cut that way. We're already into three. I'm into 360 mode. I'm into 720 mode. I'm into 1180 mode. Like, we into like fractional reserve system way out there. Well, I'm into like, name and keep going with the numbers. How far you want to go? But numbers don't even define us. It just is showing you there's more angles and more angles. There's more angels and more angels. You keep cutting up people. You keep cutting up God. You're gonna get more angels. That's what the devil did. If there's that concept, the devil, which is the earth, created sharper and sharper knives to carve up God more and more. And God was like, well, okay, cut me up. There's more angels to. Now all of a sudden everybody's an angel. Now what? Who's arguing? The angels or the English or the angels sitting around arguing? They're part of God. Why would they argue? What the fuck's they argue about? We're all creating here. The only people that are arguing are people that are created. If you're creating or as a creator, there's no arguing. You're just creating. If you feel that you're created, then you're gonna have a problem. Then that's division. Created creator. If we're creating as a God, if I create, all of my things are my kin. What am I gonna say no to? Is this better than this? Is better than this? Is better than this? It's all the same to me. Yeah, we still have a little bit of like, I don't like your idea is kind of shitty. Like there's no doubt that's a bad idea. But all in all, creation is creation, man. You know. 2-year-old's drawing might suck, but as a 2-year-old, that's a pretty good drawing, right? What up, Leo Slayer? John Hood, we're all angels fallen, angles, bent light, pure light has no color. That's correct, yeah. I mean, bent ain't even really light. You can't really bend light. I mean, they be talking about that shit. I don't think you can. I mean, you can. I guess you can bend it, but you can't break it. You can't break light. You can fractionate. You can't really fracture it. You can kind of divide it up somehow, but yeah. Oh, Dead Chrono, if you're talking to me, I was saying I had a dream. I just commented back to you on some old video. Like I had a dream about that. I don't know if I'm a little farther back here, but yeah, I got John Hood. I got no opinion on that. What's up, Cam? Okay, I think I'm almost here to the end here. Yeah, so Maya, I hope you heard everything I had to say, man. You be good, and obviously when you get there, let me know what's up. I could probably I'll tell you where to go, who to chat with. I'll see what I can do for you. I don't know a lot of people like that. I was always, I always did dolo, but I know some places you can go at least have a beverage, and I know some people that might be able to help you around the city. You know what I'm saying? So let me know. Yeah. So check it out, y'all. I think that's about all I wanted to do on this little broadcast here. I will probably get back on here in a little while, but I want to keep this condensed so that way if anybody in the future they don't get like turned off by like, you know, obviously I know you guys like the 2 hour videos, 3 hour videos. I love making them, but I kind of keep this a little condensed today. Maybe I'll get back on here with a new title and a new energy. I'll do. You know what? I'll have one more drink for y'all. I'll have one more drink and see if anything crops up into the system. We'll see. It is Saturn day, so we all say we pour out a little for our dead homies and say you know, thank you to Saturn for giving us time, because without time this glass would just fall through my hands and I wouldn't be able to enjoy the beautiful spirit that's inside of the culture of the Aztecs. And I won't be able to share it with all you. Ah! Ah! So, yeah, what up? Anything anything y'all want to know real quick? Any kind of like you can deviate off of the larger subject if you want some like interpersonal questions or any specific questions, just whatever. Let me know. And I'll give you guys like 5 more minutes. And then yeah, I'll get into some other stuff. Torn, you gotta go, man. Torn, you gotta go back to the beginning. This whole thing was for you. I mean, not just for you, obviously, for everyone, but because of this wonderful one right here, the last two I made was for you. It was just, you know how, you know, if there's a diving board, we're gonna jump off and do backflips and shit. We ain't just jumping off of it. Yeah, Dead Chrono. There's, you know, I maybe you'll see in the future. Does that number make sense to you in any way? You heard that earlier? Did that number make any sense to you? I don't know. It could have been something personal for me. It also could have been something reflective for you. I just know that I've had a lot of dreams of other people specifically that I know of the person just slightly, but then I'll have something that just interjects into that has really like has no awareness to me. Like, yeah, I've had a couple pieces of mail that got misdelivered, so I you know, but it wasn't really like on my mind so much. Do it for the torrent. That's exactly. Yeah, it's a torrent. Watch that last one first. Watch the last one I did. It was like 9 or 10 minutes. That was specifically because of the question what me and you were talking about, and then it leads into this, which I think you'll like because I was kind of in a meditative state for that. Oh man, John, I'll get you in a second. But Raw Zen, what up, Cam? To what degree is the appearances of our life externally reflective of what's going on internally? I think it's a deviation of time. It really is. It has to do with how clean every single one of what you'd call as cells in your body, or your cell as a whole is. How clean the water is in your body, because we always talk about the mind being a reflective surface. A still, calm mind, like a still lake, will reflect the sun off of it perfectly, and you'll be able to see a mirror image off of the water exactly as it should be. However, if you dirty the water, you will not see very well. And if you shake the water up, you will not see very well. So in the same way, when we clean our internal body and then start shining light, you know, like for me, like, look, I'm at the beach every day now. So like, obviously you can tell from my last videos, things changed instantaneously, because I was like, you know, I went to New Orleans and I collected all of the spirits and I condensed them, and then it became this refractorum, this refractionary device, but it was a little cloudy because I'd had so many different angles cut into the stone that I was carving, and it was just a lot. And I said, well, what I need now is I need to go somewhere, clean out the stone, and beam light into it. So I came to the beach I grounded myself out, and I'm cleaning the stone out and cleaning myself internally out. Now I can take all of these angles of expression from living inside of the city meaning a person or a place of power and energy, a mystic. I can take all of those angels and angles that I met in New Orleans, which is a fucking it's 3090. Literally look into the geometry. This is the geometry of New Orleans. Then there's a couple, if you look up 3090 in New Orleans and look at some people have done really wild papers on how that is the soul of the earth. All of it. Fuck all the people saying we all came from Africa, or we came from this. No. Look close. Look at what 3090 is. Look at the clubs. You know? Look at where the 30 degree is. Look at where 33. There's a lot to do with 3s and 9s, right? So, anyways, the point is, so what I came here now to do is collect the energy from the sun, clean myself off, and consume max quantities of water, urine, and just stay with spirit, water, urine, and sun. Cleanse the crystal. So yeah, so as I was saying that, Cam, to fully give you what you're saying, is if you start with a pyramid, or you start with a 5-sided, or whatever angles you have, there's going to be light that travels through that system, and then comes out. So there's going to be a time delay. There's going to be a time delay on saying I have an idea, and here I have a light's an idea. So my mind says this, and all of a sudden my physical appearance becomes that. If I have a cloudy, murky water, it disguises or causes a you put a limo tint. You put a tint on something. You tint it so you can't quite. So it's a barrier. So that way, if you have an improper idea, it doesn't immediately manifest. So there is always that. There is certainly a mathematical principle it works upon, but to tell you what it is exactly doesn't matter. It just means, like, how do I feel? Vibrating faster. What am I thinking? Is it good thought? Manifest more quickly. Simple. If I'm in a low vibration, I'm depressed, I'm not going to get results very fast, which is a good thing. That's why you're in deep rest. So your mind is then on a delta wave, a slow, long wave. Take that long. I'm depressed. I have an idea. I have a long time to choose if that's the right idea. If I'm excited, boop, 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 I have a very short time. But if I'm excited and I'm in a good spirit, of course I want that immediately. Instantaneous, absolute results of consciousness. There's mathematics to it, and it probably has to do with the golden ratio, but if I had to sit down for a minute, I could probably plot it out for everybody, but you just trust in yourself, knowing that the better you feel and the better your thoughts are, the quicker manifestation occurs, because time changes, because time doesn't exist. You are a perception management system. Your entire body is a perception management system. Your brain is what takes the larger mind. So soul is equivalent to mind. Your brain is contained in the same area as your spirit. Your spirit has this little computer system called a brain to take the processing of the mind and the soul to say, can we ticker tape? Is this what we want? And then the spirit and the brain says, is this what we want? And it says yes or no. If the spirit and the mind and everything's on and it's all working in harmony, everything works out perfectly. But when you've slowed things down, you have dirty systems, then it gives you a bigger window to look through. Does that make a lot of sense? And is there a certain way to deal with timing on a mushroom trip? No, I don't believe so. That's funny. I was talking to somebody earlier about some Terrence McKenna stuff and mushrooms and things, but no, you don't. If you ingest mushrooms, depending on what you're taking, no, there's not a really good way about doing that. No. You would have to like you'd have to have a babysitter. You'd have to have a shaman with you. If you had a shaman walking the path with you, then you could probably work with the time differently. You could probably adjust time, but to do it by yourself, I would say if you want to learn how to adjust time, you should go do some. You should find a diviner sage. A diviner sage will show you what time is, and then maybe even. I mean, I don't know anybody that's ever done it. But if you were to experience mushroom and then use the diviner sage during a mushroom experience, you might be like a grand wizard, an architect of time. What up, Lucianne? John Hood, I like what you said there. Old albums and staring at them, yeah. Sabini, what's up? 1888. Torrance Garden, that's awesome. Every person you hug, you'll fly for. That's awesome. Interesting. I've hugged a lot of people, so. And I fly and I levitate in most every dream. uh, John Man 57. I'm not gonna answer that right now. But everything is tantra. I'll just give it that simply. I'll do it another time. I said I only give you guys a couple more minutes, and I kind of got carried away. That one's too much to get into here, and I'm gonna cut this before an hour, so people that from the future timelines will not shy away from a 2.5 hour Zen talk. Dead Chrono, I'll talk to you that again. I'll talk to you that another time. But no, there's no, dude. It's your experience. I don't know your relationship with your ma, but there's some people that it's not their time. It's not their life. It's not their thing. It's not the. You can't keep watering a dead plant. You're not responsible for everyone. Know that much. Dimension extensions. I'll do that another time. Yeah, PMS, perception. There you go. Perception management system. Change PMS for sure. Torrance Garden. Yeah. I, you went from New Orleans to Orange Beach. Oh yeah, I've been here a few times too. I've been to some other beaches, but yeah. But I said this before. If you plot out every place I lived and look at the names of the places, it's absurd. It really is absurd. Of course, John Amon, 57. Yeah, just transmuting. When we say backwards, it's not wrong. It's just kind of, let's just adjust it slightly. It's not to go to the other side of it. When we say backwards, let's try this. If I'm looking through a mirror, I don't want to be on this side and I don't want to be on that side. I want to be what the mirror is. So that's the triangulation effect. You triangulate information. You triangulate where anything is. So when we say everything is backwards in this reality, yeah, but you can't say, well, every good experience that I had was bad, every bad experience I have is good. No, that's ridiculous. And you can't just say, like, right now, is this a bad experience I had? Is this good? It's just about it's about saying balancing thing, right? And even that, even when we do it in our mind, we're only balancing on a two-dimensional surface, which gives us left and right, which gives us even three, which isn't the truth either, because we actually have a balance this way and this way. We have a balance this way and this way. Now all of a sudden we have how many dimensions? It starts to change. Are we just trying to balance left and right? Well, what the fuck? What about forward and reverse? Apparently, everybody just wants to go left and right. They just want to sit in the middle. Fuck you, I want to go forward. Can I go forward and left? Is that okay too? So now all of a sudden there's more spatial reality, which is the Z axis. It's the axis to the Z. Check it out, the earlier video I made called Z axis. It's why it's called you got the XY axis. XY is on a plane. If you put a Z axis, it means to go into the paper. So when you find somebody with a Z name, you might know They have an access to a point of reference spatial dynamics of three-dimensional to pull you out of the two-dimensional construct that you seemingly live in. Oh wow, Lucienne, first time here. Cool. Don't worry, I'm all over the place, so you'll find a lot of different aspects of me. Flip mode. Yeah. What's up, Pink Motorcycle? I ain't seen you in a little bit. What's going on? You came here, Sabini, in 1888. You came here via Tyler Budd. Tyler Budd knows who I am. No shit. That's really cool. I would not have known that. Tyler Budd used to be. Didn't he used to be Lucy Fur, and then before that he was G Zeus. Is that right? Is that who that is? That's really cool. I never knew that. I mean, I never knew he knew who the fuck I was. That's awesome. A big up Tyler Budd. Yeah, and if it's not him, look, big up him the same way anyway, boy. Yeah, Shaman Clown, it does that. What's that about? It's all green out here. Shrivamarti, 333s, yeah. The Trident, I hear you on that. Yeah, John Hood, I hear you. The way that I see it is I'm not doing that. I'm not technologically savvy, and I don't want to be. I think there's enough people that are capable of doing that kind of shit, that find enough value in my information, that if they can't like pull a few bucks out their pocket, they got a few dollars, they got a few minutes in their day where they could take some of my information and cut it up into little, snippets of what I'm saying, and work with it that way. I don't give a fuck, just give me credit, you know what I mean? Like, not even credit, like, just say where the source came from. I don't even care. It ain't even from me, so like, it's not even that big a deal. I'm just saying, like, chop up the shit that I'm saying, and there you go. As long as you make me not look like a fucking retard, I can do that on my own, as they say. I can do bad on my own. I've made myself look stupid enough, so just go ahead and chop my shit up and make 10-minute snippets out of it. That's cool. Or 5. Yeah, Jesus Christ, that's the same person. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I never knew he knew who I was. I never chat with the cat. Huh. That's crazy. Well, awesome. I've watched a lot of his videos. He's an awesome dude. I dig his shit a lot. And actually, I think the way that I knew who he was through what's her name? Where's she from? I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Blonde hair, really, really pretty girl, like from Sweden. She's got like a Sweden accent. Yeah, I don't have it off the top of my head, but like I think she put me on him, like maybe like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Yeah. The heart, aether, earth connection. Yeah, I don't know if you were on the other day, Shaman Clown. I'm gonna do a whole video on that, and there's one more word that goes in there too. It always is a hoax, Mayan Jin. Everything's a fucking hoax. Yeah, Vanita Bergman is what you're looking for. Jessica. Yeah. Yeah, Vanita Bergman. That was yeah. If y'all don't know who Vanita Bergman is, she has some really awesome videos out there. She's extra special. Vanita Bergman. Check her out. So I don't know who else is on here that y'all need to sub to. Y'all should listen to Mayan. I don't know who's on here that's new. Y'all should go sub to Mayan Jin. Like when I'm not doing shit. Mayan Jin is always keeping it rolling. He's fucking... I'm not saying that because he's on here. Like, I don't... I just say because I like what he has to say. In fact, I'd even go as far to say this. If there's only... Like, I wouldn't think there's too many people that have a better control of the English language to decode it. And I think that the Mayan Jin has a quicker way of decoding English language than I do, which is hard to say because I put myself in very high regards of how good I am at decoding and playing with the English language. But Mayan Jin, he's up there. He's up there in God mode with the shit. My engine for real? I mean, dude, whenever you're doing some shit with language, I'm like, whoa, dude, you break down new shit for me. I mean, I've never actually brought the whole like kit and caboodle. I never brought the whole bag of tricks out with all the language because I figured it was way too far ahead of the game for people. Most of that shit is in my old writings on my Zen Alchemist WordPress, but so if y'all want to check out my old Zen Alchemist WordPress, check that out because that's from years and years ago. And that was even way out. That was actually when I just first started. Was like comfortable even writing, like public domain. Like here, eat it up. There's a lot of really deep decoding there that goes on with the English language. But yeah, yeah, man. Sabini, any more recommendations off the top of my head? Um, oh man, I'm over an hour. Fuck it. I screwed it up for everybody else in the future. I figured 59 minutes was my limit. Off the top of my head, I don't got anything right now. I mean, there's a lot. Look up my 33 greatest teachers video. It's like, funny enough, I think it's like 6.5 hours long. You don't got to watch the whole thing. I mean, you probably want to. It's pretty awesome. But the first, within the first hour, I'm pretty sure I cover the 33 greatest teachers. So you can check that out. Mayan Shin reigns supreme. Yeah, Dead Chrono said he wants to. Dead Chrono, you said the other day you wanted to battle Mayan Jin. I must defeat the Mayan Jin, the final boss. Yeah. You know what? No, he's as much as he is the final boss, he's second to the top tier. After you defeat him, you have to defeat yourself. Yeah. Or you can learn. Once you learn, then you don't have to fight anyone. John Hood, you want some extra special stuff, man. That's awesome. Dead Chrono want to battle. Dead Chrono, Dead Chrono, you do not want to battle Mayan Shin. I heard him spit. I heard him spit hot fire, boy. Like his lyrical capacity is well beyond the normal human form. He only takes this shape once in a while just to eat babies. He's like Mike Tyson out here. He fucking eat your babies. Yeah, and yeah, that's so hilarious. Yeah, you know what? Once then you get fighting yourself. You're like, fuck, I'm tired of fighting myself. Yeah, shit. We all been through that battle. That's life. Life is that. Your life experience is 100% you battling yourself. I mean, no doubt there are things that are outside of you, but those are more expressed in those are internal blockages that then display themselves outwardly. But some are just like standard. Like think of it like in a pinball game. Those things are sitting there for everyone. Like those things are there. Like you came into this thing and that's what you have. And other things we've put ghosts into the system. We've put blockages and then we didn't notice that we did that. And then the final conception is this, as I've always said, is you can fix the game. You can fix the game in any way you want. You can fix the game by fixing physically your problem. If I have a blockage in my airway, I can pull the blockage out. Physical, done. I can breathe again. It might come back because my mentality was, I'm going to go eat fucking burgers every day. And all of a sudden I recreate that physical ailment. Or I could change my mind and stop eating burgers and then the blockage goes away. Now my mind has fixed my physical blockage or my physicality, right? Or we can use our spirit realm, meaning okay, I got out of body or I had a dream and I had to battle something that was choking me out. All of a sudden, I wake up in the morning, I'm not eating that shit anymore. See, it works on all three levels. So it's just for you to choose. If you went into your day going, I'm going to work my life by one of these three avenues. I'm going to work a physical, a mental, or a spiritual idea. You can fix anything. You can change anything. It's not even to fix or to solve necessarily. It can be if you have certain system blockages, but beyond that, it's creation. Once you're done fixing the shit, once you're, you know, ground zero, and you're like, okay, now just build. What do you want to build? You can build from any one of those platforms. You can build out of the mental, you can build out of the physical, and you can build out of the spiritual. So that's the there you go. That's the stuff. Hey, so mine, you mind me asking you on here, like when are you gonna be down in New Orleans, man? When are you coming through? Yeah, Dead Chrono and you and Tiger Song. Yeah, you two trip me out. Yeah. Dimension Extensions. You know who's from Gary Baxter's in Asheville. You know that, right? Dimension. You know Gary Baxter's out there. You should link up with him. I've been through there. I never lived there. I used to live in North Carolina. I used to live on the Outer Banks, man. I used to live on the little Ocracoke. I lived on well, not Ocracoke. I visited Ocracoke Island, and then there was I lived in the sound side in a cabin that was fucking amazing. Except it was just off season. It was just really lame because there was really nothing to do except for like get really fucking high and stare at the bay, which is great. And I got to see the stars and whatever, so that was cool. But then I lived on the ocean side. Uh, but yeah, hook up with Gary Baxter. He lives out in. There's lots of good beers out there. Gary's cool, dude. Oh shit, mine. Okay. Well, keep me posted, man. Let me know what's up. If you need some, I can offer. I can offer any assistance I can, man. If you need like a link up place, like if you need, let me know. Let me just tell me what's up. Um, yeah. But the city, like I told you before, the city is a spirit city, man. You'll have no problems whatsoever there. It's better, like in fact, you'll be like a living, walking God in that place. Seriously, you'll be able to get like if you need work or whatever, you'll be able to get a job in a moment's notice. And the people around there, the music is everywhere. There's places to work everywhere. There's all sorts of shit, man. And there's good people. People will look you dead in the face and say, "What's up? Good day. What's going on?" Everyone. No one won't. No one won't look at you. Everybody is like, "What up? What's good?" Like it's for me like that's my home. Like I'm here just for a little bit, but that's home base. That's Spirit City. Yeah, Torn. I hear you on that. Yeah, the Hopi Indians. Yeah, I've been in New York City. Whew. I think it's that like I don't come across as masculine so much, but I'm very masculine energy. You see this? Okay, and I showed you guys. Check it out. You've got this finger, and this finger. So you have feminine, you have estrogen and testosterone. And so this is your masculine hand. This is your feminine hand, and those are your energies on each one of those. So you can tell the kind of estrogen and testosterone. If you find a guy like across the board, every time I meet a guy that is very balanced and but almost kind of like, or gay or something their fingers will either be switched or balanced, and they're always like more sensitive people. I mean, it's fun. I don't know. Like I'm very empathetic and sensitive. I don't know where that came from, like because my fingers don't show it, but. Yeah, like an alpha dominant thing. Most people assume I am, but I play inversion. I guess that's just my. I guess that then you compound the things, and then I'm a Geministic, Mercury, and all that shit. But yeah, those things will let you know a little bit about a little bit of your powers, whether it's receptive or projecting, whether it's defending or whether it's like a shell or it's attacking. Whether it's a woman inverting and protecting, or it's masculine electrical, magnetic. Those things are this. That's the same idea. Remember, this right here is electricity. This is magnetic, like that. So it's feminine and masculine. Yeah. New Jersey. Yeah, you know what? You need a new jersey. You need a new fucking suit. You need that. You need a new suit of clothes. The king got to get dressed, differently every day. You can't be wearing the same jersey every day. You need the whole new. What they say? Got a brand new bag. The Papa's got a brand new bag, huh? New bag of clothes. Yeah, Dead Chrono. You need more yeah, you definitely. Isn't it you, Dead Chrono, always saying you need a better jawline? I think you need to accept you need to accept that part of you, because the feminine receptive nature is that's hard to have, especially in this life. It's hard to have a receptive personality, but times they are changing. So that's going to be one of your biggest benefits, man. Yeah, you know what? Dimension extensions. I can't necessarily agree with you on that, because I believe the plastic ain't even what we think it is. I think it's coming from plants. I don't. I think it's just hoopla. I really, you know, I don't believe the fucking religious texts, and I don't believe the motherfucking scientists, because if I got scientists saying this, and I got scientists saying this, and you know what they both doing? They both being paid by the same. You got propaganda now. Who's right and who's wrong? I don't know. So I just have to leave it as I think that's both bullshit. And I know that the planes are not fueled by as much gas. And I know the fucking, the government's propaganda hand is the fifth, service of the government, all of this shit. So you got to kind of get back to BPA and plastic. That's what we're dealing with now. BPA is causing, what they say is it's the precursor for estrogen. That's what's caused us all to be so. It's not all of the complete imprinting of every single day while you're sitting in the classroom with the teacher saying, sit down and shut up, which means masculine teach. Let me give you this. You have a woman classically as a teacher who takes the role of a man, standing up taller than all the students, sit down in the desk, stand up, be big, teach. A woman was never the teacher like that for real. She was providing in a different way. Stand in front of the class, you bring her the apple of Eden. Now the woman is standing there, without getting too far in this allegory. She's gonna sit there and dominate and dominate and dominate. And then all the children are going to be submissive. they're going to start producing all of the chemical precursors for estrogen because their mind completes the whole system, then starts producing estrogen. The teacher that was a woman that shouldn't have been in the classroom teaching children about mathematics because she doesn't know a fucking thing about mathematics. Other than the fact that she is matter, but we're not going to go that far. The woman was standing there in front of the classroom, becoming testosterone rich, throwing down authority onto children, emasculating them, all of them, changing the way that their brain chemistry worked, so to be submissive, to produce more estrogen. That's what happened. Because no one should be sitting in a seat. We should all be sitting here like this is how we should be sitting. Like this. Squatting. Squat. That's the natural human position. Right? We should be shitting and eating that way. But we're sitting in seats, which takes all of our balance away. It ruins our arches in our feet. We take the soles, all of that shit, right? All of those things are causing the imbalance in estrogen and testosterone. It's not fucking the plastic that we're drinking our fucking water out of. So when people give you that kind of shit story, you better take a big, longer, harder look into everything else that's going on in your motherfucking life. Which means the books you're reading, the information you're being provided, those are the things that are causing your estrogen and testosterone to be out of fucking whack. You're eating food all day long that is just full of chemicals. You're eating food with your eyes of all the information. You're listening to music that is shit. So, and I'm not going off on you, personally. This is just a larger thing that people need to get through their thick, fucking, dense skulls. So they can be enlightened. That's all. See how it works? John Hood, I'll do that another time. Prophecies are caused by programming. Yeah, I did a video a long time ago on exactly that concept. I called it something a little different, but it's basically how they use three different types of magic. One is real magic, a second one is technological, and another one is verbal. It's all about, like, I'm not going to get into it here. I'll do another time for you, John, but I do have an earlier video that I did on that exactly. All nutrients are fake because unless you know what the word nutrition means, you don't know what you're talking about. So nutrition, it means light, or nut that holds the seed of light. Dimension extension. Did I not address that completely and completely? What does that have to do with BPA though? Fuck your BPA is what I'm saying. Well, I've been drinking out of plastic bottles. I've been drinking the fluoride. Look at me. I'm out here like what? I look like a bitch to you? Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Come up in my danger zone. Catching elbows. Real quick. See, did it feminize me? Perception management systems. Back to that. Like BPA, you have to get it. You have to get in your head. Everything out there causes cancer. Everything that you think causes cancer, placebo, nocebo, placebo, nocebo. That's adjusting your capacity to think placebo, nocebo, yes and no, masculine and feminine, estrogen, testosterone, counterbalances. It's not the fucking plastic. Plastic is not doing it. Plastic ain't the fucking thing. Yeah, there might be micro amounts of these things, but in the grand schema, what we're doing is we're majoring in minor things. We're looking at our fucking fingernails, whether we're fucking bleeding out of our hearts, and our jaw's broken, and we're like, well, my fingernails are telling me that. Fuck you and fuck your fingernails. That's what needs to be understood. We gotta stop blaming the fuck. Then don't drink out of the fucking plastic. Then don't do that. Well, the BPA is causing all the children. No, the box cereal with all the cereal that has all the fucking heavy metals in it. The as soon as you come out the womb, they're jamming you with the needles. Did we forget about that? All the doctors drilling into everybody. Did we forget about that part? No, it's the water you're drinking. It's the water. That's what they're saying. They're literally telling you. They're telling you that the water bottles. They're not telling you the cola bottles. Everybody's sitting there drinking cola. Coca-Cola in fucking plastic. But we're like concerned with like, our water's got plastic in it and it's making our babies all fucking pussy bitches. What the fuck are you talking about? do you see? Are you getting it? It's all a fucking mental algorithm that you're playing with, that they're suggesting to you that you're eating up, and you're going, yeah, of course, yep. We get fucking liver disorder from this. You get liver disorder because you fucking eat cheese pizza all night while drinking that. But that's giving you the fucking fatty liver. Then we go, you know what? Cigarettes are causing cancer. No, it's not the fucking cigarettes. It's the chemicals. Then we go, oh no, the water is going to leach the nutrients. No, it's not leaking. These are all of the okie dokies that are played everywhere. And when people say something, well, what about some simple little minuscule bullshit BPA? BPA is the least of your motherfucking worries. Your worry should be, how do you think about these things? If you think the BPA is a problem, then either go stop it from happening or stop it from happening to you. There's been fluoride in the water for how many years? And everyone fucking knows it across the board that fluoride is shit. Why hasn't anyone that works for any of these water boards stopped putting fluoride in the water? Any clue? Anybody? See? And what are you doing about it? There's how many millions of people on this planet? What's anybody doing about it? Not a fucking thing. So you have a choice in yourself. Release all those toxins from myself. See? All right. Maca root is awesome stuff, Jude Meister. It adds a nice creaminess to everything, and I know I felt better whenever I was using it. I mean, I have a bunch in the closet. I just haven't broke it out lately. Good stuff. Torrance Garden, does basil increase focus? You know what? I would assume so, because what you have is holy basil. So I assume that has something to do with the Holy Spirit of energy that is held within basil. So yeah, basil and sage probably have something to do with that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, John Hood. If get the distiller, man. If you're buying distilled water from the store, it's a waste, man. Just because you're gonna waste all the time and the money going there. A distiller will pay for itself in like 4 months. And especially if you got more family drinking, it'll pay for itself very, very fast. It's the greatest investment you can make. That, and then, taking your shoes off, which isn't even an investment. It's just not doing walk around barefooted. Just do that. You look a little goofy at first, but hey, cheers, everyone. Thanks for the excellent show. I'm glad you all showed up. I'm glad we got an equal 17 people in the room, 17 thumbs up your butt. I like it. And if anybody's got some spirit or alcohol or water or urine, drink with me. Cheers, yo. And like I told you, I think I told you guys a few months back that come springtime, I'd be doing some videos on how to get into shape, and I'm gonna go in my repository of everything that I know about the human body. Like everybody thought I was just talking some shit, like about how the mind works, but I know quite a bit about some things. We've got all the toys. Look at all this cool shit. Look at all the cool stuff. Look at all the cool toys. Look at all this cool stuff, guys. Look at all this stuff. You didn't even know about this. About that right there. Can you see that? Oh, yeah, you probably can't see that. Anyways, what else we got over here? And these right here. These are called voodoo bands. These will fix up all of your problems. We've got this, which is just magical for fixing the neck. I mean, a lot of other things, but get those crinks out your neck. And then I'll show you this thing over here. Really want to get chi working? Little chi machine. Yeah. See, and what's funny is this shit's been sitting around. I do this from time to time, like only when I need to. And apparently, like this spring, I'll break it all out, and you'll see me like jumping over fucking tall buildings in a single bound. Y'all think I just started making videos because I was smart, not because I was ever capable of doing anything physical. I used to jump over buildings. It's all about it. That's the thing. It's always see that you go from physical to mental to spiritual to physical, and you play the loop, and everything compounds on each other, and it gets all stronger and stronger. Yeah, dimension extensions. I mean, hear me though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, of course it's going to be. There's a bunch of reasons that it's going to be better in glass. You know, I'm not saying it's not an issue. It is an issue. Of course it is. But it's not as big as everybody makes it to be. We'd like to blow everything out of fucking proportion. Water is going to help water in glass is going to help for a lot of reasons. It has to do with the angle of the light coming into it, what the plastic is, the leaching, the general respect that you have. If I go get a plastic bottle and I just put some water out of the tap in it, regardless of how good the tap water is and everything, I don't really give that any respect. If I distill my water and I say thank you water, and I put that water into a jar and I put a little smiley face on that jar and it's glass, and I carry that glass around with me, I've treated that like a child, like a homunculus, like a smaller version of myself that's going to go into me as an offering. So I've literally changed the vibrational matrix of it just by doing those things. Now, if I was poor and I couldn't afford to do all of that extra shit, I could still make my water holy and pure and good. Good enough. Not going to be as good as, but it's going to be better than, just by do the rice experiment. Do the rice experiment in glass jars and plastic jars. It doesn't fucking matter. It's still, the outcome's going to be the same. Is it going to be a sweet smelling wine? Or is it going to be a disgusting, filthy blech? Right? That's all I'm saying about that, man. I just get real deep so other people can really get it into their minds that we have to stop playing with our fucking fingernails and pay attention to our central source self, which is all this other shit outside of us. The television ain't got shit to do with you. The radio ain't got shit to do with you. The fucking newspaper ain't got shit to do with you. Nothing has shit to do with you out there. Like, it does. It's a reflection if you'd like to look into it. It can give you little pieces and ideas, but then you're gonna immediately go, oh, I'm gonna just fucking do all this. I'm gonna cut my fingernail. I'm gonna wipe this fucking thing off. It's got nothing to do with your fucking life. Just like the BPAs. It's the smallest poison that you have. The biggest poison that you have, I mean, it's probably judgment, but let's step down. Let's not get all holy like the Bible. Judge, then you shall be judged. Yeah, I mean that's true, but let's get comfortable. Okay, most people go like this. Okay, that exists over there. So this is where I start with people. That exists over there. Okay, that exists over there. Okay, how can you help that be better, or how can that help you improve your life? And if those two questions can't come to terms, if you can't help that and that can't help you, then you go to the next thing. That's how life works. The best thing about life is you get to choose your friends. Right now, red ain't doing it for me. I go out in the sun, and I've been out there for a few hours. Immediately go, thank you, son. Appreciate it, but I got to fucking dip. And the son's like, oh, come on, we just getting started. And I'm like, yeah, but B, I'm burning right now. Like, just give me a little bit. I can hang out longer, but I need some fucking cool water, right? You hanging out if you hung out in a red room all day, you'd become fucking psychotic. You hang out in a green room all day, you'd be fucking psycho. Now alleviate, change the frequencies. See what serves you when it serves you. Leo Slayer. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He always active, man. Kick down doors, 500 hard motherfuckers sign the doc. Bong bong. Yeah, make it 501 blues, Keep it like blue jeans, right? Keep the blue jeans. See how quick we spit? You see how quick we flip that shit? Hey, Mayan Jim, whatever, man. Yeah, you let me know. I mean, I tell you, like I have in the biggest thing, I have unlimited resources. But in the real world, in limited time scopes, I have some resources. I can help when I can help and how I can help. I've learned to not overextend myself because I've been burnt before, and I've put myself in bad situations. Put in finances that weren't mine in front of people, and it put a lot more pressure and stresses on me. So, but in whatever way I can, if you want to, like if that's really your thing, you down about it, we'll try, man. Like, I mean, no, there is no try. Like if that's what you want, man, put it in your mind. You already know how the fuck it. Why am I telling you? You plot the shit out, and like if I happen to fit in the mix, so be it. Fuck, I'm telling you about mine. Dimension Extensions. Is IPA a good beer to drink? IPA is not a beer. It's a style of beer, and it depends on whether or not, of course, that beer is... Well, there's three things there. And see, this is why I wish I would have cut it off at like fucking... like a 50 minutes in, because now we're getting this kind of crazy shit. Be like, what the fuck is he talking about? But here, I'll do it anyways for you guys. So in beer... It's a living system. Beer and anything that is bubbling, it's coming out of the blah, 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 right? That's basically B12. Okay, I'm not gonna make a claim that is B12. It has the constituents, and the idea of what B12 does is it transforms something into what is energy, and there is energy in beer. Thus, beer being lifeblood, beer being liquid bread, the stuff that was the wheat was never supposed to be made directly into bread. It was supposed to be made beer first, and then you use the leftover grains to make spent grain bread. So your bread, butter, and beer was life. It was a triangulation, but that's save for another time. So IPAs, what they said. This is all you could look into. Stephen Herod Buhner, which talks about alchemy and the sacred healing beers, and he actually did a video with some cat I met a long time ago. Fucking. Anyways, the point is here. I'm gonna go off on the side tangents all the time. IPAs were said by I think it was a Protestant church, like in the late 1500s. And see, this goes back to what do we know? Who the fuck knows? But it said that the Protestant church made
beers, because you got the Bavarian laws of how to make beer. There's supposed to be 3 ingredients, and then all of a sudden the church came in and said, no, you got to put these hops in a beer, and hops are, funny enough, we're just talking about plastic as progenitors for the feminine characteristics. So the IPAs have hops which have the precursors for all the estrogen. So it basically makes men more docile and not want to fuck. They don't want to fuck and they don't want to fight. They want to fall asleep. So it makes people docile and sleepy. And so it took away men's ability to procreate and to fight, the system of enslavement, which was passed down to them through the church, which imposed the ideas of using hops into beers. So IPAs are very high in hops, which means Indian Pale Ales. Now, there's what's called an APA, which is called an American Pale Ale, which uses the same hops, but instead of boiling them and pulling out and extracting all of the elements that basically turn people into lazy slugs, by offering them at the tail end, by just boiling them for just a minute or two. So you have an American Pale Ale. An IPA is boil them for 30, 60, or 90 minutes. It's extracting tannins, extracting everything out of it. It's like overcooking coffee. It's taking everything out of it, and including killing all of the good stuff. When you dry hop, what means, instead of letting it soak in the water, it means you throw the things in dry, and then it pulls out just the smell, the aroma, and the essence, and a tiny bit, because the tannins and the bitterness are bound together. You don't want, that's the medicinal thing that makes people sleepy. If you want an IPA, that's when you want it. It's when you're sick and you want to go to bed. But an APA, a little more expensive, because they think because you're not getting more out of them, they only use them and just throw them in there for like a minute, 30 seconds maybe, 5 minutes, whatever, and pull it out. Just like straining tea. Strain some tea, put it in there for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, it's all going to taste different because you're pulling out tannins. And so the APAs are actually going to be more aromatic and more life-giving. And then what they don't do is they don't overboil that, and then they don't pasteurize the alcohol afterwards. Because they said they needed to pasteurize it. Apparently, these fundamentalist religious idealists said, well, the beer is going to spoil, so we need to put more hops in it so it doesn't spoil. It already wasn't going to spoil. And then they pasteurized the beer so it wouldn't spoil, meaning it killed off everything good. They kept burning it and burning it and burning it and throwing more tannins in it and turning this garbage-ass IPA that we have today, which is why all these fucking hipster cocksuckers want to drink IPAs all the time. That's why they're a bunch of fucking limp dick, fucking skinny-ass cocksuckers. But you didn't hear that from me. So look for the APAs that are unpasteurized. It's going to be hard to find, but there are a few beers out there that are left that are not pasteurized, which means it's still living. It has all of the extra energy that you need to break down the food. This is why you drink beer with food, to break down all of the dense food that was supposed to be, getting into the other thing of the sun and the light beer and the food and the levels that the food comes at, the 3 levels. What's in the sky, what's on the earth, what's in the ground, and you boil the roots. So we have all these systems, and all is to deliver the spirit back into the body. And what they've done, the people that want to take you to your grave, the people that own businesses, that own part of the corporations, the corpse world, the dead world, they want to take you to your grave because they don't want you to have spirit in your body. They tell you something has light in it by calling it a light beer, but have actually removed the light from it. So hopefully that was a little bit of hopefully that was fun for you guys. Another little tangent into beers. I didn't see your question about servitors. We'll do that another time. I'm gonna cut this soon. I'm enjoying this, guys, but I really think it is. Yeah, it's 8:30. I don't want to turn this into fucking 2.5 hours. I mean, IPA has a use, but it's just not. It's not that. What up, Dong Cheeto? No, the charcoal is good. Dong Cheeto, the charcoal is good. It's removing shit from there. The charcoal is fine, man. Don't worry about the charcoal. Charcoal is very good. And it doesn't change the pH. It just gets rid of some of the elements in the water. I mean, you can distill it. You're going to be at like 0.001%, or 1%, but 0.001 pH. pH. See, this is why we can cut it right now. 0.001 ppm parts per million. The pH water should be a little bit on the acidic side. Dimension extensions. Will you argue with me about this? IPA was definitely created by a goddamn church, dude. Come on, here, let's have a conversation. Why don't you do this? Go do yourself a favor. I'm not going to argue with you. Go argue with Stephen Herod Buhner. We're not talking about IPAs. We're talking about the fucking the thing that creates the IPAs. The hops. Hops were created. Hops were instilled into beers and pushed by the church. Go talk to Stephen Herod Buhner. Go read his 12 books. Go listen to a real native shaman, and then you can argue. you're gonna throw when you throw an exclamation point, that means you're about to get exclaimed upon. IPA wasn't created by no goddamn church, dude. I'm gonna cut you off right there, homie. Go talk to Stephen Herod Buhner. Look it up, and go look up his videos he's made, and then you can tell him about it. And if you happen to know more than him, write a book and let me know. And if you can convince him he's wrong, I'm happy to subscribe. But I followed his work, and he's an amazing human being. In fact, I might even have one of his books over here right now that I could probably read a passage to you right now because I'm about to bless you with the motherfucking Bible. I'm gonna Bible your motherfucking ass. You wanna exclaim something to me? Here you go. It's called Plant Intelligence in the Imaginal Realm into the Dreaming of Earth Beyond the Doors of Perception by Stephen Herod Buhner. Here, I'm just gonna open it right up here to you, and I'm gonna tell you this. We're just gonna do this real quick. The boundaries of these occurrences, by the way, like the boundaries of all self-organized systems, are very porous. There is a constant flow of energy and information into and out of them. They are all tightly interwoven into a larger ecosystem of the Earth itself. Each acts locally, each acts globally. They are part of a highly complex and redundant system for maintaining the homeodynamics of the Earth. They develop more complexity over time. For the greater the complexity, the greater the ability to maintain homeodynamics. Killing off mature ecosystems results in a loss of cultural learning among the world's ecosystems communities, or as Albert Einstein once observed, technological progress is like an axe in the hand of a pathological criminal. Get blessed, son. So, as I was saying, doubt if you must, know if you must, but tell me how you know such. I don't know. You think I just had that all planned out for your little tell me something? I don't really care. He might be wrong too. I might be wrong. I'm okay with it. I don't really care. But the thing is, I can tell that when I take hops and put them in my beer, it's going to cause more feminine resulting, the resulting dynamics of it is feminine qualities. It's not masculine. It doesn't make me want to go and do anything energetic. It makes me want to fucking take a crap and a nap. So I can know that what he's saying is true through my own personal observational through my eyes, ears, senses, experience, to know that what you're saying there when you explain something and exclaim something in a tiny little box, that, you know, I think you should go make a show about that. See, and I say that to you in the kindest of heart, that if you think you know that well, then go make a video on that, because it doesn't seem to be so. It seems the church was actually, just like the monks were making beer, the church had a say in things. Considering most of everyone's life is based upon the church, because the church and the state are bound together by one institution that dominates and uses their fucking hand and smashes down people through information. So I am information technology, and I choose to enlighten people and alleviate them from the density of the dead world that it was given to you and instructed upon by your lords and master that oversee your incapacitating for you to be not immaculate, to be the opposite of all of this. But anyways, whatever. Drink whatever you want, enjoy it. I drink all the shit. I drink piss, I drink vodka, I drink IPAs too. That's the point. There is no best style. The style is no style. So anyways, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, guys. I'm gonna go try to find myself something that smells and tastes and feels right for the evening. Hopefully it'll be good. Thanks to all for showing up. I appreciate you, especially all of my friends that return so frequently. It's always good to see y'all. See you on the astral realms. Yeah. And I'm just going to dig to see if there's anything important here. Stay fucking radical. Do cool things with yourself. Alright, yo. Bong bong. Do good things. Find splendor in your life. Find bounty. You only find it if you are it. Be the bounty. Be the splendor. And most importantly, realize that you're producing all of this shit. Yeah, actually, you guys produce my show. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. Because I'd have nobody to talk to except for myself, and that would be kind of boring. So I had to recreate myself by becoming all of you, and you are all of me. So, stay well. Be radical. Talk to y'all soon.